Assalamualaikum and a pleasant day to each and everyone. My name is Muhaimin A. Pango, and today I will be discussing the importance of local and oral history. So without further ado, let's start. Now, let's discuss the importance of local and oral history. First on the list, we have preserves unrecorded stories and traditions. We Filipino, we have a lot of culture in our history that passed down through spoken stories instead of written records. Uh, and oral history helps preserve traditions, beliefs, practices, and experiences that disappear over time if they are not remembered and shared. One of the examples of this is elders telling stories about bayanihan, or another example is traditional healing practices, or how fiestas were celebrated in the past. The next one is builds community identity and pride. Okay, builds community identity and pride is it is learning about local history that helps Filipinos understand the origins, struggles, and achievement of their community. Understood? And in this way, we can strengthen the sense of identity, unity, and pride in their culture and hometown. For example, is the residents becoming proud after learning that their barangay played an important role during a historical event, or is known for a unique tradition like uh, festivals in Davao, specifically the Kadayawan festivals. Understood? Next one is the fills gaps in official history. Official history, official history books often focuses on famous leaders and major events, but oral history includes the personal experiences of ordinary Filipinos. These stories provide deeper understanding and different perspective about historical events. And for example, is the survivors sharing their experiences during the Japanese occupation, or the those people that uh, present when the martial law was employed. Another example is the devastating typhoon, specifically the typhoon Yolanda, that affect many communities rather in our countries. Okay, next one is the passes culture to future generation. Oral history allows older generation to teach young people about Filipino values, customs, language, and traditions. This way, we can preserve cultural heritage and prevent traditional from being forgotten. And one of the example of this is our grandparents teaching uh, children traditional Filipino, like folk song, dances, legends, and local dialects expressions. Okay, so the last one is gives voice to ordinary people. Oral history, oral history values that uh, oral history values the experiences of every Filipinos that whose stories are often not included in official records. It recognizes that every person's experience is important to understanding history. And one of the example of this is uh, farmers, rather are farmers, fishermen, vendors, or workers sharing how economic changes and modern modernization affected their daily lives. Understood? Okay, now let's move on to the next topic, which is the how to start writing local and oral history. Okay, so first on the list, syempre, it is necessary to choose a topic. Like we should select a specific topic related to local or oral history that is meaningful and manageable to study. It can focus on a person, place, event, tradition, or cultural practices in the community. And for example, is researching the history of a local church, ancestral house, barangay fiestas, or a respected community elders. Understood? Next one is we should research the basics. Syempre, before conducting interview, we should gather background information from books, newspapers, archives, photographs, or even online resources. In this way, it can help us, or it can help you understand the topic that you can prepare. You can in this way you can also prepare better questions. And for example, is reading local records about the history of your own town or your town before interviewing residents. Understood? Third one is we should find people to interview. Yes, and if we are looking for something we can interview, can conduct this interview. Syempre, if it's about history or oral history, we should conduct it on our elders, because they witnesses or they witnesses, or they are long time residents that who have personal knowledge or experiences that related to the information you're seeking for, or it is related to the topic. With their memories and experiences, you can provide a valuable information. And as I said earlier, the common example of this is interviewing our grandparents or senior citizens who experience important event in the community. The next one is we should prepare questions. Syempre, we should create open-ended questions that encourage detailed answers instead of simple yes or no. And through this, in this way, like good questions helps interviewees share the stories. Like they can share their stories based on their personal perspective, personal experiences, or emotions. And for example, is like for one of the example of question that we can use when we are conducting interview is questioning how did people in the community helps each other after the typhoon. Like they can share their emotions, personal perspective, and stories or experiences. In that way, you can get not just simple answer from them, rather you can also get the importance or the something necessary in your study. The next one is record and take notes. We should ask permission before recording interviews. Listen carefully and respectfully while taking notes about important details, emotions, and dates measured by the interview. Yes, we should be like this. Like we can take note all of the importance information na sinabi nila, in order for us to hindi natin
mapabayaan yung mga important na mga information na mga gamit natin sa paggawa ng isang paggawa ng ating study. Like, the common example of this is sa pag-take note is syempre using our cell phones to record. Kung hindi natin kayang sumulat, pwede naman natin i-record gamit ating cellphone while sila ay nagbibigay ng kanilang mga sagot. The next one is we should check and organize the information. Compare the collected stories with other interviews or written sources to make sure that information is accurate. We should organize the data according to topics, timelines, or events. And the common example of this is verifying dates mentioned in interviews through barangay records, or the common one, the previous one that always nagagamit is the newspaper articles. Okay, the last one is we should write and share the history. After natin mag-gather yung ganong information, ganong study, matapos natin magawa yung ating study about the history, we should present the collected information in a clear and organized way so others can learn from it. And sharing local and oral history helps preserve knowledge for future generation. Yes, hindi lamang ito, yung ating pagod ay hindi masasayang, bagkus nag-iwan tayo ng ating legacy, ng sarili nating legacy mula sa ating lugar. Kaya nga, it is important, like creating a research paper, documentary videos, scrapbook, or community presentation about the history of the barangay to show or to present how proud we are, how those experiences impact the present people. In that way, hindi lamang ito na ipapasa sa mga tao na parang walang silbi, bagkus ito ay nagiging basihan ng kanilang pamumuhay. Ito yung magiging basihan kung ano nga ba yung dapat gawin o ano yung magiging dapat na solusyon sa mga suliranin sa ating lugar. Because of our history, oral history or cultures na nanggaling pa sa ating mga ninuno, it is representing like nagsisilbing guide sa atin, because those are, sabihin nating negative, sabihin nating mga halimbawa na lang yung pagkakaroon ng martial law during that time. At yung martial law na yon, alam natin na yung mga tao ngayon is kinatakutan nila na maulit-ulit yun, dahil nga ang martial law is masyadong mapangharas sa araw na yon. That's why it is crucial na malaman ng punong bayan na ang martial law ay hindi dapat ipinapatupad ng hindi pinag-iisipan. Bagkus maaari itong magbigay ng dalawang posibilidad, positive and negative. Sabihin natin ang positibong dahilan nito is magkakaroon ng seguridad sa isang lugar, but the negative one is we can deny that during that time, a lot of people being abused, being harassed, being violated because of the army's power. People can't do anything. Yes, that's why martial law ay nagsisilbi na lang aral sa atin na hindi na ito mauulit pa. At in what way para hindi ito mauulit pa? Through pagsunod sa ating mga batas na nakalagay dyan upang maiwasan yung pagpapatupad sa pilitang pagpapatupad ng batas na ito. Understood? Okay. And that's conclude my reports. I hope you learned something new. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.